Hello, my name is Daniel Priego. I will be doing my presentation on aerial and drone photography. Um, we'll be talking about the exciting and transformation techniques that are actually going into this more modern way of taking photography. Talk a little bit about its history, how to get the best shot, the best equipment, um, how it works, photographers, and also some controversial things along with military and also maybe a little UFO talk with what was going on the East Coast. So here, real quick, we'll talk about the history of photography. Back in the 1800s, they would take a balloon and attach a camera to it and send it up and trying to get photos of the battlefield in World War Ones and World War Two, so that they can try to see where the enemy was. And that eventually progressed to satellites, helicopters, to the drones that we have here today. So kind of like what makes a good photograph. When you're using these drones, you got to it's not just get up there high and shoot. You got to make sure you got good composition, lighting, perspective, um, getting those leading lines, symmetry, and a unique viewpoint. And also it needs to probably tell a story as well so that the viewer can really see what's going on. Going a little bit more, like here, we got some of the equipment, um, very high end. These things can move fast, as we saw on the East Coast. People mistaking drones for aliens, when really they all had the blinking lights. Um, they're all government sanctioned, as we found out later. But some of the more modern ones we have here, they have GPS tracking. Um, Popular models are the DJI Mavic series, Atul EVO, and the Skydo drones. And then once you take your photo, of course, you got to use um, editing software to really capture a great photo, like Adobe Lightroom or Photoshop. Getting into some notable photographers here, we have Sebastian Nagy, professional photographer. We'll show some pictures of him here in a minute. Peter Yan, um, Australian photographer. Chris Buckard, who is more of an action type of photographer, sports, surfing, really getting in there. And then Bashir Mozal, he takes some great photos as well. Here's a photo of Sebastian Nagy's type of shots that he takes. Um, Great lighting. The photo definitely tells a story here. Really intense, like what's going on down there. Bashir Mokrizel. Here's a photo of looks like a big festival of some sort. Look at the colors. Um, Very big type of thing going on here. Really cool photo. Here's a type of photo by Chris Bucker. Like I said, he takes action photos, surfing, sports. But imagine the skill you have to do to be able to get in there and just get that perfect shot, because it's hard enough to get a wave, and it's hard enough to plan a photo just perfect. And so with drones and aerial photography, we mainly see it a lot in real estate now. I know when I want to purchase a house, I'm looking at all the photos, and if there's not an aerial photo, it's like, oh, well, what's going on here? Um, it really captures everything that goes on in the neighborhood, how much room you have, how much space, parking. A lot of questions a home buyer has could be answered by a simple photo like this. Also in sports, a lot of aerial photography is being used in sports. Here's one of Levi Stadium, but we've moved from maybe not be quite exactly a drone, but the video photos that are taken in a football game. It's a drone type of camera system that's attached with wires, and they can move it all throughout the stadium. Um, but it's also being used more in indoor sports as well, just flying a drone around. It's pretty crazy how quickly um, the technology is moving. Um, a lot of these drone operators are using like a VR headset, handheld set, so it's like a video game out there, and just capturing some really great shots in real time. Um, And so a lot of drone aerial photography kind of started out in the military application, with the military use of drones, a bit, unmanned aircraft out there flying with a very high precision camera taking photos of everything on the battlefield. And it's moving into a crazy way of using it on the battlefield. You can see videos on TikTok and whatever of the war in Ukraine and Russia, what drones are actually being used for. It's quite scary, um, believe it or not. They're very tiny. They can be used for photos. It can be used for a lot of other things. Um, Attached a YouTube link here if you want to watch a video of it. But yeah, technology is going fast. Skynet is here. And here's some sources I used when researching my project. Um, if you have any questions, please leave it in the presentation answer sheet, the replies, and I will answer all the questions in a separate video. Thank you for watching my presentation, and you have a great day.